Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilhite, and I'm just going to get super real with you. If I get emotional, I'm sorry, but I didn't expect to be doing a video on this topic, and then again, I didn't anticipate my husband being in an accident a little over a week ago that resulted in a broken neck. I wanted to share this with you because after sharing my experience, I want to provide 3 key takeaways, I guess, for you that I believe will help you be more informed and that can actually help you. It really has enlightened my, I guess, ideas about things. And it's really going to touch on the 3 key takeaways are going to touch on stress and the importance of having a super strong support network, and also how the strength of our spiritual health and faith makes such a big difference. It really are essential to our health. So I want to share with you that regardless how you are feeling, a stress effect can just sneak up with you in just a super big way, and not just cause chronic problems over time, but can trigger a really, very real acute physical attack. And that kind of reaction can happen to anyone when you least expect it. And that's what happened to me. So I'm going to take you through when I heard of my husband's, the news of my husband's accident, and then till hours after the physical attack that actually happened to me. I also want to share that even though our faith in the Lord is very strong, we are so blessed with an incredible support network, and I'm definitely an expert at how to take care of myself well. This still happened. None of us are immune to this kind of impact. So here goes my story, how impactful a stressor like emotional trauma can affect us. So it was Sunday afternoon, March 8th, around 5 p.m., and I was out walking the dog. I get back and my phone had been just ringing off the hook, and I had text messages with pics that showed my husband, Robert, lying on the street. We are road cyclists, and he was out riding his bike and was hit by a car. He's very well known and loved in the community, so it was very quick that others were reaching out to me with pics and posting on Facebook to confirm it was Robert. Once I saw the pics via text message, I knew it was him. And then I picked up my voice messages. I immediately returned the call to the EMT and was told what happened. He was being sent to the ER, of course. That's pretty much all I knew. I got my stuff together and was at the hospital not long actually after the ambulance got there. I do really want to give a big shout out to the EMTs and police officer in Gwinnett County, how they handled this situation. They were just so fantastic in talking with me and what they were saying. I just can't even express how wonderful they did. And I'm so thankful for them. Now, if you know me, I'm a get-her-done kind of person. When I have a mission in mind, I go after it. I'm very ambitious and driven, and I can compartmentalize very well. So for me, it was to get to the hospital, see Robert, how he was physically and emotionally, assess all what was going on, and figure out what the next steps were. That was just pretty much boom, boom, boom. So when I got there, he was awake, and he initiated us praying together. So we did that, which was awesome. Our love and submission to the Lord and trust in God has not been shattered in any way. And we fully forgive the man who was not paying attention and hit Robert. We intend to let him know that we are praying for him and forgive him. Okay, so now when I'm at the hospital, when speaking with the trauma doctor, I was made aware of Robert's most severe issue with his neck being broken, and that there was a possibility of paralysis. So of course, I'm just listening and thinking of all the next steps. A lot of things are going through my mind. Okay, what do I need to do next? So I made some priority phone calls, and at this point, more tests are being run. Since it gotten quite late at night at this point, we actually wouldn't see the neurosurgeon until the next morning, Monday morning. At this point, Robert's on pain meds. He's kind of in and out, and I realized there's nothing for me to do at the hospital at this point. I'm just not the person that's going to just stand there and stress and worry and do that. So I knew I would need to be rested to manage through all of this. I worked very diligently to keep my own chronic health issues without flaring and not have a setback. And so I'm blessed with the quality of life that I have because I take care of myself. I knew that this could cause a setback in my health, and I needed to do everything I could to avoid that. So I went home to take care of my dog and go to bed. Our dog. I slept a couple hours here and there. I wasn't not sleeping because I was worrying and dwelling on a bunch of negative stuff. The fact is we just have physiological things that take place in our body, whether it's a physical, emotional trauma, they just automatically happen, and that kept me from staying asleep. So when I got up Monday morning, as soon as I woke, I physically felt fine. And emotionally, I was very stable, of course, with the exception of being tired from not getting enough good sleep. It wasn't until I tried saying good morning to my dog. Okay, so who doesn't talk to their pets? I talk to him all the time. When I realized I had no voice, I literally had laryngitis. I felt like something was caught in my throat and I couldn't breathe. Again, I wasn't feeling emotionally spent and I was otherwise physically fine. With the exception of not getting enough sleep. So given the timing of this, one of the first things that came to my mind, of course, was the coronavirus, because it was having breathing problems and it's a respiratory virus. And then I may have possibly picked something up from the hospital. So because I was having a very difficult time breathing, I won't lie, I was the only one at home, except for my dog. I was scared. I actually nearly called 911, but in crazy things going through my head, which I won't go into all that detail, but I did end up calling a dear friend who lives close by instead. I did have a difficult time talking because it takes effort to do that, and I was having a hard time getting air. Now, mind you, I know what it's like to have a panic attack. In years past, I've had that. I've hyperventilated, and I've also in years past have had exercise asthma. So I know what it's completely like in those circumstances to not be able to breathe. And this circumstance was nothing like that. It seemed to get worse. I was not able to breathe well, and I could barely talk. I also called another friend to come get my dog. Now, my friends had a hard time hearing what I was trying to say on the phone, but in the end, they were both at my home very promptly. It was amazing. Shirley Jones and Ellie Rosier, thank you so much. And Ellie actually had to leave work to come over. What helped me was that I had to remain calm and breathe slowly. And the Lord provided me in using my friends to help me to stay in a better place mentally and emotionally, which resulted in my breathing problems being completely resolved within a few hours. My laryngitis resolved by the next day, so that was kind of surprising why that lasted so long, at least the next day, day and a half. However, it did take me through the entire week after to get some of my thoughts out. Like, I knew what I wanted to say, but you know how sometimes you can't think of a word? Well, in this case, I couldn't think of phrases. I could still make wise decisions and think clearly from that perspective, but it just took me some time to speak what my mind was wanting to say. So with all of that, there's really three key takeaways from that I have, some of which I knew, but have really been instilled deeply. And I also want to share with you because it can help you have more insight. And the first one is that this experience opened my eyes even more about how stressors can trigger an acute attack, a very strong acute attack, without even realizing anything is coming on. And this is just an example of how emotional stress can cause strong, more immediate physical reactions, but also shows that if it can happen in an acute attack like this, imagine how, if not managing stress, it can really become chronic and ongoing, and that obviously causes chronic problems. So in this situation, the reality is that I have number of extras at home to deal with, like anybody would. in addition to working, I'm self-employed, Robert's self-employed, we don't get sick or medical leave or anything like that. So I have to be super diligent at my own self-care so I can be there for Robert and not get down and out myself. With my history of chronic illness, I know the importance of taking care of myself, and I am so much more diligent at doing that. And I plead with anyone that has health issues, regardless of what they are, you've got to make sure you're taking care of yourself, or you're really not going to be healthy for others. Well, I was going to say something else, but I won't belabor that point. So the second takeaway is how important it is to be surrounded by a trustworthy, caring, supportive network, whether that's community folks, friends, family, combination. We have great family, although unfortunately we don't have any local. Robert's brother, actually, David, came in and visited. We have amazing friends and community, and we also have a church family that is just phenomenal. We are so blessed to be surrounded by such amazing people, and they care so much about us and are so willing to help. And I can't stress enough how important that is to develop that kind of social network that, where people take care of each other. And then the third takeaway is how essential our spiritual walk and our trust in the Lord is. This is so critical and helped us tremendously having a positive mindset and stable emotions throughout all of this and ongoing as Robert recovers and we step into a new normal for right now. Jesus is truly our anchor. And not only has this impacted Robert's health and resulted in great suffering for him, it has affected me. I've had a little bit of setback, but nothing major. It has resulted obviously in great financial challenge. So all that to say that without our trust in Jesus, we would be in a much more significant world of hurt. We know that he will provide for all our needs, whatever they are, and he is our healer, and we stand firm in that. So I just wanted to share those things with you. This is so real, very emotional, but thanks for listening, and God bless you. Enjoy your day.